What's up, everybody? This is Ben with another crypto update here. And it's been a few days since I've done a video, so we've had some action. It's been kind of boring action, which is good because that means we're consolidating, and that's nice. A couple levels I want to look at here on the HBAR. Um, Significant uptrend line here on the diagonal, which I'll show you here in a minute. You might not even have recognized this on my chart before because it's not been in play. But it has been drawn out way into the future like I always do. And sure enough, we're coming back down to it right now. So there's some stuff to look at there. I want to look at this middle support between kind of our two, between this zone here that we've been involved with for so long, and then this zone here that I keep talking about forever about being significant because it's just our last time we had real structure, in this chart. This is all a mess. The last, actually, this right here doesn't look that bad. Finally, but until then, this is the last real structure. So that's why this has been appealing to me down here. So those are the levels I want to look at. First of all, this trend line, which I think is very significant. It's this diagonal here. And you're probably wondering, Ben, where in the world is that trend line from? Let me zoom way out and show you. I drew this thing so long ago. This is back into February, so it's going on 6 weeks now since we drew this. And this is coming from the time that, look, I'll even zoom in so you can see. This is coming from the time that when we were down in the about 10 cents. Don't you wish you could go back to there again? I remember when this dip happened right here from 12 to 10, and it was like kind of a big deal that it dropped from 12 to 10, and I had buy orders in here, which is nice that I got filled. But it made this little dip and then came right back up into this area of consolidation. But so I started this trend line there, and there's been quite a bit of action on it. It's from that 10 cents zone all the way up until it was like at 15 cents. So you can see all the touches it made here. Touch, 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 and every time it's held. And we have not seen that trend line again, literally, until here. So that's why I draw these things way out into the future, because you never know. Actually, you do know. I'm telling you, most of the time, they come back and revisit them. It's pretty wild stuff, but it happens all the time. So I'm watching that trend line. I'm watching this horizontal trend line here, which is in the middle of these two zones. And we've had more action on it now. The last time I talked about it, I said we hadn't had much action, and we haven't. But since then, we've had the last 2 days of it holding support here multiple times, which is significant. The other significant thing, let me just draw this over so we can see. It was basically the bottom of our dump after our first big initial FOMO up to 45 cents. It was kind of the bottom here. It held it. And then we revisited it here, and that was the only couple times we really revisited it. And then it was back up into this craziness, which ended up putting in this very odd mirror pattern here. Even these little spikes out of the range, just very, very. I think it's really cool, actually, that it did something like this. And here we are finding ourselves here. Okay, so there's that zone. There's this diagonal. There's this horizontal that we're watching. And the next one is this. The bottom of this zone, the 33 cents support and resistance line, which it has been support and resistance multiple different times. It's been support multiple times. It's been resistance multiple times. It is a very significant area of interest for HBAR, 33 cents. we've tried to bust through it in the last couple of days, both times. And that's when you guys always start hitting me up on Twitter. Hey, it's going, it's going. And it's been rejected hard each time. This rejection came down through that diagonal trend line and even through this horizontal line, which is significant to note that it went through, but was able to come back just in the next couple hours and retest and kind of hold. And then we had this another big bounce early this morning, right? But got to 33, immediately rejected again. And it's just kind of been hovering in and around either this support line or this diagonal trend line up. Why the sell-off, I guess, is the question. There is a lot of hype around this coin, but it seems like every time we get a pump, even here, it's an immediate sell-off. We get this pump here, it's an immediate sell-off. Ever since we've had this FOMO. And I think you remember in some of my earlier videos, I talked about what FOMO like this can cause and the havoc it causes on charts and on coins forever, because people lose confidence in it when this kind of stuff happens. That's why I continue to talk about structure and how meaningful it is. And these are all just perfect examples. Every time we've tried to do a pump, we just drop. We just drop. We just drop. We do a pump, we drop. We do a pump, we drop. We do a little pump, we drop. We do another pump, we drop. We do another pump, we drop, right? The only difference now is that we're doing it more in a consolidated area here, which is notable. It's also notable, even as we speak right now, that we're testing this diagonal again. We're trying to stay above the 9, at least on the hourly. And I think what's going to happen here is one of these 3 lines over the next, let's say, that's April 9th. What's today? April 6th. Over the next, 2 days, one of these lines are going to break. It's either going to be this resistance line is finally going to break. This diagonal is going to break and come down and hit this, and then these two will start fighting it out. Or this finally lets go. And if that happens, where we're heading, down to Ben's buy zone that he's been talking about for how long now? Since early March. I'm watching the 4-hour chart to kind of see what plays out here too. Remember I told you the importance of staying on top of the 9 on the 4-hour. That's when we see real movement up. If we can stay on top of the 9, we see movement up, up. When we lose that 9 on the 4-hour, it's very hard to recapture. We tried here, it was immediate rejection. We tried here, it was immediate rejection. We tried here, it was an immediate rejection. We got above it here. Right now, we're just right on it. We're literally just sitting right on it right now. And the only positive thing I can say about it is that it's at such a crazy level right during this video. We're right on this long-term trend, upward trend line. The 4-hour has finally started to flatten out. Can it make that curve? Oops. Can it make that curve up and give this thing momentum to push up through here? That's what we're going to see happen in the next few, couple days, or maybe happens on the next couple candles. You never know. Basically, we're running out of room here, is what I'm saying. This is optimistic. The MACD is flipped bullish. It's trying to, look where it was here compared to where it is now. It's at least flipped bullish a little bit, and it's trying to push up. But watch this zone. I'm telling you, something's got to give here, everybody. And draw it out. We're going to be bouncing around in here, and something's going to break. You know, does it finally go and break and recheck and go? Does this break down and come down and hit? Let me draw this out a little further. Oops. Sorry about that. Let me draw this out a little further into the future. Does it finally come down and hit this area? You know, and probably bounce and bounce and go down to the buy zone. I do not know. I do not pretend to know. I just look at what the charts are saying. And what they're saying is these three levels right now are very important. And one of these is going to give soon. Our downtrend is breaking just a little bit right now. It has before. We might come down and test this again. Remember, the more times you test an area, the weaker it gets. So this resistance got weaker as we tested it here, here, and here. But the support got weaker as we tested it here, 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 if you get what I'm saying. And then this support down here got weaker as we tested it here, 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 all the way along. I feel like we're testing support more than we're testing resistance, which is more of a, to me, a bit of a downward cycle. I'm not saying it long term. I'm just saying that it's more possible that we come down into here. The other thing I'm looking at very closely is the HBAR and Bitcoin pair, which is here. And let me point out a couple things really quick before this video gets too long. Look at we finally break through this major resistance here on the Bitcoin chart, and we have been able to stay above it this whole time. I want you to notice the differences in the bounces though. This first bounce was pretty big. The second time we touched this level, it was a little bit less. Then we didn't touch it again, and we made this FOMO move, which brought us right back down because it wasn't real. This time we touched it, look, the bounce was only to here. Only about half of what this one was. And then this touch was only to here. And now this touch is, you know, to here, a little bit lower again. So one of two things are happening. This support is getting weaker and weaker every time we hit it, or this is kind of bottoming out here, and maybe this bottoms out and this support holds. It's at a really crucial time right now, and this is just the hourly chart. So I'm kind of bouncing around from this hourly chart on the HBAR to USD to see what happens in this triangle and see which ones of these lines break. And I'm looking at the Bitcoin pair as well. One thing I know for sure is that Bitcoin dominance is just, I mean, look at that. It has not found a bottom. It's not even trying to find a bottom. It means that it's glorious for altcoins and that things are going to move, everybody. The alts are going to move. A lot of times they start with coins like Litecoin and Ethereum. Litecoin's actually moving. It's putting in good structure. I mean, this is kind of a crazy move here, but it went right to the Bollinger Band and came back up. We're retesting support now. So that all looks good. We'll see what happens there. Again, everything depends on Bitcoin. I drew this a few days ago, this bear flag and this arrow down. I got some slack for it. I still believe it's going to happen. I tweeted about this hourly candle that happened and said I'm very suspicious of this. You know, I don't think it's anything significant. It looks like it's not. It looks like it's probably going to come down and test 55. And if I go to the daily here on the Bitcoin, oops, that was the weekly. We're going to see, oh, that's my dirty chart. Let me go to my cleaner chart so we can see this better. This head and shoulders that I drew for a long time ago, and talking about this trend line here and how I feel like it would be very beneficial for Bitcoin to come down and hit this trend line, and that I don't even throw this out the window, this level. So I look at all those things when I'm looking at HBAR, because Bitcoin controls a lot of it. If Bitcoin dumps, HBAR is going to dump. I'm telling you right now. So have buy orders ready down there just in case. Yeah, the cup and handle play on Bitcoin daily is over, in my opinion. It's gone. Um, we could even start calling this a double top if you want to get crazy. I don't want to scare anybody, but starting here and playing this double top down into here, which would bring us down to around 25. Um, that's what I'm looking for. But I think we're going to get some moves here just in the next, day or so. And it has a lot to do with these three levels here. So watch them closely over the next few days. And I think that'll give you some answers. Watch them on the 4 hour, watch them on the 1 hour for more subtle movements. But you can see it working this trend line right up. It's been there for 6 weeks. It finally came back down to it, and it's holding support for now. But we shall see. Does it have enough strength to push through this very, very strong 33 cents zone? Or do we need to come down to the buy zone and fill up and load up so that we can bust through on the next time? I'm happy either way. I hope it comes down so I can get some more cheaper. But my low bags way down here are going to love it if this thing takes off. So those are the levels I'm watching. I hope this helps out. Sorry it got longer this time. But I just wanted to really point out these certain levels, and also how I'm watching Bitcoin and also the Bitcoin dominance chart. And then one more as well is this HBAR to Bitcoin. Watch it, because if we lose this level finally and come down into here, you're going to see some lower HBAR prices. All right. Hope you guys have a good day. Don't waste your life away staring at charts. Find the levels. Watch when it means something, and then go have a good life. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your kids if you got them. Enjoy your wife if you got one, or your husband if you got one. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Like and subscribe. It helps me out, and retweet it if you like it. All right. Peace out, everybody. See you.